Alright, what's going on, everybody? Before I actually get into what I've written for today's video slash podcast, I want to give y'all the reason or my inspiration behind actually taking the time to write this. And basically, this whole topic of why doesn't music nowadays impress me is because I've had a lot of artists where there a few years ago, I've really been onto this. Years ago, I've really been feeling their music. Everything they've put out has been really hitting me where yeah, these guys are on their way up, right? On their way up. And it's these days, these last couple of years, it's been everything I'm hearing from these people I'm not gonna name names, but it hasn't been great. But the crazy part is they've been the most popular that they've ever been in their careers, right? And to me, that's just a typical case of that's not quality, that's just popularity. Because something can be super popular but not good, you know what I mean? But that's partly what inspired me to sit down and actually write what I'm about to talk about. So let me actually get into this. So why doesn't music impress me so much nowadays? But let me start off by saying there's a lot of good music out there, a lot of good music. I remember seeing a post online a few years ago that said, if you think that all music today is trash, you just aren't looking good enough. Personally, I don't even think you need to search that long to find good music. But if that's the case, why would I bother writing a script titled, Why Doesn't Music Impress Me Nowadays? Well, for the simple fact that I think the standard for quality has dropped. Either that or musical interests have changed. It could be both. I'm not trying to say make boom bap old school style of music popular again, or even all the music I hear these days is a bunch of mumbling nonsense. Look, I'm 21. If anybody should be into most of the stuff that's popping these days, it should be me. But to tell you the truth, I'm really not. I try. I give everything that's on the charts a fair chance, but I honestly can't take most of it. Two main reasons for this as well. For one, you can barely understand what a lot of them are saying. I know that's been an argument against a lot of today's music, but it's true. At the end of the day though, you like what you like, but I can understand why there would be a lot of hate towards this type of stuff. The other reason is, well, when you actually can understand what a lot of them are saying, they aren't saying much. Every song is a list of recycled bars, and I don't just mean from all of the artists. Sometimes from one single artist. I've listened to so many albums in the past couple years where I've heard the same lines being used song after song after song. Again, you like what you like, but you can't possibly get mad at people for saying these types of songs are terrible. The thing is though, it all tends to sound good. It's catchy, it's rhythmic. The beat tends to carry the artist, not the other way around. Music is art, and with art, there aren't any rules as to how an artist should choose to express themselves, but at the end of the day, the artist should produce quality content. Not sure how many people out there are familiar with abstract art, but it's mainly a type of painting or a sculpture which doesn't really have much structure, and for the most part, you have no idea what you're looking at, but something about it interests you. You can't really stop looking at it. You can't take your eyes off of it. I like to think of mumble rap as abstract art. You don't understand what the hell is going on in the song, but it catches your ear. You want to listen to it more. But as I always say with abstract art, just because you don't understand it doesn't make it good. The key thing I want to get back to is the point I made earlier where I said that maybe the standard for the quality of music has dropped over the years. Maybe people just want to indulge themselves in simplicity and don't really care for the deeper meaning behind a rapper or singer's lyrics. Yeah, ever so often you get J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, those type of guys topping the charts, but there's a 90% chance that when you look up what songs are doing well at the moment and you give it a listen, it's going to be something catchy but lyrically mediocre, and that's putting it nicely. Who's to blame though? The artist or the listener? I've said it numerous times so far, you can't blame a person for liking something. That's just what they're into. You like what you like. But you also can't blame an artist for putting a product out there that people want to hear, even if it's not that great or as good as it can be. I used to think it was the listener's fault because we simply don't want anything too deep or something with more meaning to it. But I started to change where I stand on that. I'm more on the side of it's the responsibility of the artist to go all in on the music that they're making and show their true talent. We tend to assume that just because a song is quote deep, that's boring or not good. This couldn't be further from the truth. Because if that were the case, artists like Black, J. Cole, Joey Badass, NF, and so on wouldn't be as popular as they are. It's your job as an artist to make the listener become a fan of your work. And honestly, and listen, you can still do that while making music that people will enjoy. You know what I'm saying? The reason I blame artists though is because some of them just don't want to put in that effort and that time. I'm not trying to say they're any less of a person because of it. Like, you got to get your money somehow, but that does rule you out of a lot of the conversations that some of them would like to be in at the end of the day, such as who's the best out right now, or even who's the greatest of all time. So yeah, that's basically what I should have written more, but I didn't want it to go on for too long, and I think this kind of gets my point across, where is it really the listener's fault? Is it the artist's fault? Like, at the end of the day, you can't tell the public what to like. So even if a lot of not boring but very simple rap is being put out there with not a lot of substance, but that's what people like, but I personally think it comes down to the artists, because a lot of these artists do have the talent, you can tell, but really not trying that hard. They're just like, this is gonna make me a few million, I can go on the road, do a show, do like a bunch of shows, make a ton of money off of an album which is so plain and simple. Everything from top to bottom is simplicity. There's nothing fantastic about it, but like I said earlier, it may just be catchy or it may just be rhythmic, and that's enough for people to say, hey, I want to spend my money on that. But when there's artists out there who are actually trying, why is it that they're the ones who don't get the recognition they deserve? You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all for today, guys, and until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you're new, and